Hey yo, this is Dash.
Yeah.
Hey yo, this is Dash, and I am back in my kitchen, and we're cooking today. So I was in Walmart with my wife the other day, and I happened to stumble upon this. So it shows that it says lamb split breast, but looking at it, it really just looks like lamb ribs, and they were dirt cheap. Lamb is typically, when I buy the legs of lamb, they're like $5 a pound. Boneless legs of lamb, they're typically closer to $5 or $6 a pound. This was $2.72 per pound, and it ended up weighing about 4.5 pounds. So for 12 bucks, a little less than, actually a little more than $12, I got 2 racks of it looks like lamb ribs. I don't know if this person or whoever it was labeled them wrong or what, but I'm gonna treat them like pork ribs. Season them up, get the membranes off of them, kind of look at them. I think there's a little fat on the front of them. I might score them, and I'm going to get them seasoned, and we're going to smoke them. First thing we're going to do is lay down some foil. Second thing I always do is usually get some gloves on, and I'm going to get a knife. All right, so we have my lamb ribs here. Open these things up. They look great. It really just looks like, now, so I can see that this is primarily just meat. There's no bone in here, but there's some bones in here. So I'm going to treat these like pork ribs and get the membrane that's in here off. So pull this off, and I might need to use the paper towel trick. But if you haven't already seen, I have a video out there. That shows you how to remove the silver skin. This is the silver skin here from ribs, and it looks like it's a little tougher than on some pork ribs. So I am going to go ahead and get a paper towel and hopefully be able to, the reason you use a paper towel is to try to get a better grip. So let's see if I can do that. All right, now you don't need the whole paper towel, at least in my opinion, you don't need a whole paper towel. You're just gonna come down and grab it, and there you go, like butter. Alright, the paper towel allows you to get a good grip on the silver skin and pull it off. Okay. Alright, so I'm pulling it off. And pulling off the silver skin is going to allow the seasoning and the smoke to penetrate onto the back side of the ribs. So there's half of it off. Alright. And if you want to be picky, you can go ahead and try a little harder. Okay, so we have this this part of the rack, or actually this rack cleaned up, and then we're going to move on to this part. Now on this one, again, you can see there's just bones primarily here, and this is just meat. So what I'm going to do is, again, get paper towel. I'm going to take the other half of the paper towel. I'm going to fold it over and then get in here and try to find a good grip spot. Actually, I'll come on up to the edge. Nope. This edge. Nope. Trying to get a good grip here on this silver skin to remove it. There we go. And again, you remove it so that you get a better penetration of the smoke and the seasoning on the back side of these ribs. Some more of the silver skin here. And what the silver skin does is it keeps the like, this will be the chest wall. So it keeps the organs and things like that out and away from the muscles. So when I just pulled it off of here, you can see now that this part of the muscle is more exposed, and it will take more of the seasoning and smoke. So I'm gonna keep working at it and see what else I can get off. All right, time for me to get rid of the silver skin. I'm going to get these rinsed and washed off, and then I'm gonna get them seasoned. All right, so today with this cook, I'm going really basic. So we're gonna do some coarse sea salt crystals, some black pepper, and just some regular old rosemary. All right, let's get this seasoned up. Now I'm going to season every edge as well as the back. All right, so that was the salt. All right, so there's pepper. And last but not least, rosemary. Put a decent amount of rosemary on this. I like rosemary on my lamb. And last but not least, the back of the ribs. So we got the front of this one side, other side, and the back. All right, I'm gonna let the ribs hang out for a little while. I'm gonna go get the smoker started, and then by the time I get the smoker started and up to temperature, these ribs will probably have finished sweating, and then I'll go ahead and get them in the smoker. You guys have seen me get Vicky going before, so I'll spare you the gory details, but let me get Vicky going. First things first, I need to clean out the charcoal from the last cook, and there's primarily, it wasn't a very big cook, I guess, because there's not much of a mess left in here. And one of the things you guys don't really get to see me do often is I'm going to show you exactly what type of wood I'm using today and how I get it situated in there. So today I'm going to be using this wood here. I believe it's either cherry or it's red oak. Honestly, I don't know which it is actually, but that red color, gives it away that it's not just regular oak. So at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and use the weed torch and get the charcoal going. Once I get the charcoal going, I'll go ahead on back in the house, and I'm going to use the thermometers so that I can know when this comes up to temperature, go back in the house and relax for a little while. If you haven't already seen the BBQ tool talk, check out the link in the top left corner of the screen right now. All right, so now that I've gotten the fire started, what I'll do is, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead on get the one of the thermometers set up, and I will take that in the house. Once the smoker comes up to temperature, I'll bring those ribs out here and we'll get them going. All right, I'll be back in a bit. All right, so I am on my way down to the garage with the ribs in hand. It's been about an hour since I got the smoker going. I'm gonna go ahead and get the ribs loaded up, and for all of you guys that are talking about it's too cold, I don't even have a jacket on right now. but I am just gonna run into the garage and put these ribs in and then go back in the house. But gotta cook all year round, all year round. All right, let me get these in the smoker. All right, here are my 2 racks. Get them in the smoker and let's I'll be back. I think I'm gonna let these go for 2 hours. And then I'll come back and I'll check on them. So this again is a perfect example of when I would use my long range thermometer. So I can go ahead on back in the house, monitor the temperature in the smoker, and I don't have to be outside in the like 15-degree weather. So I'm going back inside. Might make some coffee, warm myself up. Actually, I might make myself a drink. Whoop, warm myself up. And keep an eye on the thermometer. And I don't know if you noticed this, but obviously you see the snow. But I'm home with my kids today. So as opposed to not doing anything, I'm actually been filming a lot today. So you guys should be seeing the fruits of my labor over the next couple weeks. And if you see this same black and white shirt, well, black and gray shirt, you know why. I'm headed back down to the garage. It has been 2 hours and I'm going to check on my ribs. Oh yeah, they're looking good. Smells good. Looks good. Oh, you know what? That was the reason I turned this one on. So I could do this. Oh yeah, it looks real good. 2 hours. I'm gonna let them go for another hour or so. It's been another hour. I'm gonna go get the ribs from the smoker and I'm gonna cheat a little bit and bring them inside of the house just because it's so cold outside. And I want to try and speed up the cooking process. They have been in the smoker for a little over 3 hours, about 3 hours. And I'm going to get them, like I said, out of the smoker so I can wrap them up, help to tenderize them and speed up the cooking process. Okay, so I brought the lamb, the breast of lamb inside. And you can see there's pullback from the bone, which is starting to happen. And oh my goodness, these things smell amazing. So like I said, I'm gonna get them wrapped up and put in the oven, and hopefully these will be done soon. And I'll use a temperature probe. This is another one of the instances where using the wireless thermometer helps out. So I'm gonna get these in the oven and hopefully we'll get this done quickly. Okay, so I've gone ahead and taken the ribs out of the oven, and here is a perfect example of where the fat separator would come in handy. If I were trying to collect the au jus from the ribs there, that's when it would come in handy. So I'm gonna take this out, and unfortunately I'm not gonna let it rest as long as I would like to. I have let it rest for a moment or so, but I want to cut into these because we're hungry and we're trying to eat dinner quickly. So let me go ahead and get this set up. My wife's saying she's hungry. So I'm gonna get this set up and cut this up. They smell pretty amazing, and there's a decent smoke ring there, and boy, they're juicy. Baby, come here and let's get one of these. You're gonna need a plate. Can you give me a plate? Alright, because it's
Hi! Make sure you subscribe.
Thank you, Sydney. Can I have a plate for mommy, please? Alright.
I don't know why we're acting formal. We're cavemen. It's too much fat, boo boo.
Sweet. Let's see. Here.
That's too much fat.
Alright, here, take this one. Not that it's any less fattier, but Sydney, I can cut some of this off for you, okay? Here, Scott.
Charlie, you make doing this when you didn't even take a bite. I have a lot of fat.
Don't eat that fat.
Or you're gonna be fat.
Thank you, Sydney, for that clarification.
Here, Sydney, I cut a
But
lot
do you
of
think
this
it's
off.
bad?
No, it's just,
Okay.
I'm hungry. It has no meat.
There's a lot of that in there. I didn't.
Do a good job.
No. Wow. I didn't realize it was going to be so fatty.
Do you think it needs to cook longer?
I might be able to cook it longer to render more of the fat away.
It doesn't matter. It's not gonna make any more meat, though.
It's yummy though.
I would like it
If it were less
if there was
fatty.
meat.
Sorry.
No, it's not your fault. It's the
No. And you know, I've never
creature it came.
done it before. Alright, so honestly enough, it turned out okay.
It's
I can't
delicious.
eat it. I can't eat it.
I know. It's rather fatty. And unfortunate for me, I've never cooked this particular cut before. And I did not know how much fat was going to be in this particular cut. So, anyway, that's all about what experimentation is. So, thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, as my daughter told you already. And I'll see you next time. Wrap this up really quick. This is going to be an afterward, more or less, to the video. And one of the things that we realized, or one of the things I realized, is the reason why this was so inexpensive is because it was so fatty. This meat was actually probably indeed the breast meat of the lamb. I never realized lamb was this fatty. It had ribs in it, so it made it look like ribs, but it was not actually the ribs. The ribs are probably, you know, further along the side of the animal and probably would have way less fat than the breast did. But let me just show you kind of the aftermath. So this was the piece that I ended up saying, and I took the membrane off of the back, and it was very meaty. So there's like a piece at the end. Now this was part of the short rack, okay, and you can see just how much fat that rib actually was. Decent smoke ring in there though, but I mean that's half of that was fat. And this is the top portion, or top side, where the seasoning is. So all down in here, if you don't take the bite and get it all together, you're not getting as much of the seasoning as you probably would need. Now if I were to do this again, and I think I mentioned scoring it because I saw some fat, but I didn't realize that it was going to be this much fat. Had I known what I know now, I would have definitely put a deep score into the lamb, and maybe that would have made it turn out a little bit better. But nonetheless, this is an experiment. I kind of, the flavor was good. The crystallized sea salt, the pepper, and the rosemary, phenomenal. The barbecue sauce was great. It had very good flavor. It was just way too fatty. So unfortunately, I'm kind of middle of the road on this one, and you know, you've been warned. All right, thanks again as always for watching, and I'll see you next time.